poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Spicy Drip, back from the dead with another story time. I know it's been a fat minute since I've done a video. It's been like what, 1 week, 2 weeks? Hasn't been that long. But long story short, I've been working some major OT, like just non-stop overtime. They've been working me to the bone, and it has literally sucked all the energy away from my body. So I've had absolutely no motivation to make a video whatsoever until now. Today's story time is going to be a little different from the last story time. It's actually going to be a lot different from the last story time. The last story time I did, it was about my McDonald's days. Today's story time is going to be my high school days. Without any further delays, let's just jump right in. So it's no secret that I went to Ronald E. McNair High School. And I'm telling you right now, my first day, I couldn't find any of my classes. I remember being late to my first period just because I didn't know where it was. I think it was located at the very back. And I think I remember going to the wrong classroom like twice. They gave us a little map, but that didn't do any good. Because like it wasn't even like, it was just like a little line that you had to follow, which, you know, like I said, what good did that do? I think it was junior year where I started finding my classes easier. But yeah, throughout the first years of high school, I could not find my class for nothing. That was definitely the reason why it was one of my favorite moments, was because it felt like a mission. Just because like the drive to find your class, you know, you made it your personal mission to find that class and not be late. Because when you're late, everyone's staring at you, everyone's giving you that, like they just seen like it's like the president just walked in or something. I don't know. Everyone always stared at me weird. But yeah, you know, trying to find all my classes, that was definitely one of the highlights of high school for me. This might come as a shocker, but I've actually never eaten lunch in the cafeteria at my high school ever. Throughout the 4 years I've attended McNair, I've never once eaten lunch in the cafeteria. I've eaten lunch before, just not in the cafeteria. I've spent all of my lunches, I wouldn't say all, but I've spent like literally 90% of all my lunches in the library. Why? Because I was a major loner. If you guys watched the vlog I did with Axel where we visited our old high school, you can actually see me reference it. We got the library right here. Yep. Fun fact, that's where I would spend all my lunches. I was going there. I was a loner, and I would just go in there, eat my lunch in my backpack, and then be on the computer all day.
What did you do on the computer?
I'll just watch movies, play games, you know, shout out to all my introverts out there. Yeah, man, I was a big introvert in high school. I don't know what it was. I felt like I was just better off by myself, you know, isolated, push everyone away. That didn't do me any good, did it? Nah, I'm telling you, I was that kid with the hoodies all the way on and earphones always stuck in my ears. There was never a time, except maybe in class, because you know they didn't allow earphones. Some of them did, but not all of them. But there was never a time when my earphones weren't plugged in. I can tell you, if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm telling you, every lunch spent in the library. What would I do in the library? I would just be on the computer. I'd play games, I'd watch movies, I'd go on some pirated movie websites, and yeah, I would just, honestly, it wasn't that bad. And honestly, I wasn't even alone all the time. Like, I would have some of my friends come and join me just because they felt bad, even though I don't know why they would feel bad. But overall, it was cool spending lunch in the library. 90% of the time, I did spend my lunches in the library. However, there were times where I spent it in classrooms, and when I would do that, I would go to this one specific classroom. It was bio. I would go with 2 of my friends, and then whenever we had enough money, we would all pitch in to order DoorDash. And I'm telling you, bro, those days would be lit. Like, especially when we had substitutes. Like, I remember specifically, you know, ordering the DoorDash online, and then I used my friend's, I think he had a debit card. Yeah, I used my friend's debit card, and then it was always funny, like, calling them, because, you know, because they couldn't find the school, and it was always funny, like, because they would call me and they'd be like, where are you? And then I'd have to like sneak out of the school, and like just for them to find me and be like, okay, yeah, I'm at the main entrance. And then I'd get the food, I'd go in. I'm surprised my teacher even let us eat there. I think he told us, he was like, if you guys get caught, I didn't let you guys did it on your own accord. I was like, deal, bro. I remember we'd get McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. I think there was even a time where we got pizza. That was definitely like a highlight. Ordering DoorDash at lunch, just chilling, having a good time. There were even times where we would have like a boring day, or like we would have a sub, and like he was one of those cool subs that just played movies all day. So it'd be cool because we would eat lunch, right? And then we would still have leftovers because we'd save that for the movie. Though I miss those days. All right, I want to establish something. My freshman year and my sophomore year, the rallies were lit. Like, they were just top notch. Maybe not top notch. They kind of got boring as soon as like halfway through sophomore year. But my freshman year and beginning of sophomore year, they were fire. Like, they definitely had some creative ideas. They always came up with new innovative ways to captivate people. And they were always good at hyping up the crowd, you know. And then the performances, like the dances, the games they would do, like the announcements, the cheering. I think my favorite part was the cheerleaders. Yeah. But after sophomore year, I just stopped. I ditched because the rallies got so dead, so boring. It was basically repeating what we already saw because I guess they ran out of ideas. So they would repeat the same performances, the same dances, the same music, the same like hyping up speech, and it just got so old. Like, there were times when I would get caught like trying to sneak out, and they'd be like, "Hey, where you going?" And I'd play it off, but like, to the bathroom. And then I'd be forced to go to the rally, and then I wouldn't even pay attention. I just plug in my earphones, like I said earlier, plug in my earphones and just dead. But as soon as I got the car, oh, that was it. Like, as soon as I got the car, they said, "All right, all seniors or all students, please report to the gymnasium for our rally." I'd tell all my friends, like, "Hey, let's get out of here." And we'd sneak out to the back gate, and then we'd dip. We'd be out. All right, I want to teach y'all a little technique that I learned. For all you guys that are still in high school, watch and learn. All right, so this is what I would do. And I'm not saying you're going to fall asleep totally, but if you ever just want to rest your eyes because the class is so boring and you just want to go like, just shut your eyes real quick, here's what you do. You put your elbow on the table on your desk, right? You get your right hand or your left hand, whatever your preference is. I prefer my right hand. And then you position your hand like this. You put it over your face like this and just sleep away. Tell you, never got caught. And for those of you wondering, it was always math and history that I fell asleep in. Don't get me wrong, I know some people love math and some people love learning about the history of our country, history of the world, but I just can't. For math, I just hate math because there's like a million solutions to solve one problem, and it just aggravates me, and I hate it. And the fact that math is everywhere just makes it 10 times worse. With history, I just can't, man. History is just so boring to me, and I have no interest in learning about what has already been done. And yeah, I get a lot of history buffs out there. Well, the whole point of learning history is so that history doesn't repeat itself. I get that, just not my taste. Well, all right, so it was senior year or late junior year, around that time period. I think I was 16 at the time. I finally got the car. I remember driving to school for the first time. It was something else, man. I remember just blasting my music. It was a 2000. The car that I used, it was like a 2005 Nissan Altima, I think. Man, I treated that like it was a Lambo. I was cruising. I was blasting my music. I had my shades on. I was just like looking at all the girls like I was whipping. Like, they'd look at me like, hey man, when you get your car and you drive to school for the first time, you feel powerful. All right, I don't care what nobody say. It was dope. I liked it, and it was always fun, like giving my friends rides home. And then for a while, it was cool for a while, but then after a while, it got old, and then that's when I started charging for gas money. Oh man, this was psych. Nah, I don't think I ever had a high school girlfriend. Don't get me wrong, I had a few relationships, but it was never like walking her to class or, you know, spending time with her at lunch. Like, nah. But since we're on that topic, let me address that real quick. So yes, I did have some high school relationships. I always make fun of myself, like I always get curved, but you know, I can't roast myself too much. I gotta be honest. I did have some high school relationships, and you know, they were cool. You know, they were chill, they were laid back. Most of them were were chill, and some of them were just straight up horrifying, man. Like, these girls are so, like, they carry themselves with so much pride. It's honestly disgusting. Like, it's like they hold themselves right here, and they look down on you as if you're below them. And yeah, that's just not something that I do. But yeah, I can confidently say that I've never had a high school sweetheart. I've never had a first love. As of right now, I'm just chilling. I'm open to meeting someone, getting to know them, and then maybe catching feelings. I don't know for sure. But yeah, as far as anything serious right now, I'm definitely not looking for anything like that right now. Just because I'm chilling, I'm trying to work hard. I'm trying to save up. I'm trying to grind. I'm trying to stack. I'm trying to help out my family. I'm trying to get closer with God, trying to strengthen that relationship with God. And yeah, that's just definitely not on the priority list as of right now. But who knows? Who knows? Oh, I loved getting food after school. I think that was the highlight of every day. It was driving to school and then getting food after. I think my go-to places were Wendy's and this sushi buffet that was right down the street. Every Wednesday I'd go with my friend, because Wednesday was our minimum day, because we usually get off at, I think it was 3:15, and then Wednesdays we'd get off at 1:15, I think, or 2:15, I don't know, around there. But we, point is, we got off early, and there was this buffet down the street, and the buffet was from, I think it was from 11 to 3. It cost $10, bro. All you can eat, just non-stop Chinese food. We're talking beef broccoli, we're talking fried rice, we're talking fried chicken, shrimp, fries, French fries. We're talking soup, watermelon. Like, dude, like literally heaven, man. You know how I feel about Chinese food and Asian food, man. Ooh, I can eat that for days. Like, I'm saying, man. But yeah, every Wednesday, me and my boy Daniel, we would go there. Sometimes we'd split it. Sometimes I'd pay for him. Sometimes he'd pay for me. Loved going there. I also loved going to Wendy's. I think every Friday I went to Wendy's. Yeah. Favorite classes were definitely Spanish, graphic design, English, and art. The reason why I loved Spanish was because that class was one of the most social and just outgoing classes I've ever had. I had Spanish. I went up to Spanish 3, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Spanish 3 I think was like literally the only class I had that had other smart people in it. And I was there just because I already spoke Spanish, and I already had that knowledge. And I'd always be the kid where they'd ask me, hey, what does this mean? Can you translate it? Is this right? Our teacher, I think my teacher, her name was Miss Pena. She had this little system where she divided like everyone in groups, and she basically turned everyone into snitches. So basically, phones weren't allowed, right? So let's say I'm in a group and I see the other group, I see someone take out their phone. If I tell Miss Pena, hey, they took out their phone, our group would get points. And it was such a weird thing to have for a classroom, just like making everybody snitch. I never snitched. But yeah, I like that class. The work was cool, even though some people considered it stressful. Like I'm telling y'all, we would have to memorize countries. But I had a good time in that class. Graphic design, oh man, I loved graphic design so much. Graphic design was literally my favorite class of all time. Like, it beats any class that I've had. Not just because of the class itself, but also because of the teacher. Shout out Mr. Mickner, man. That dude is an absolute legend. He literally inspired me to make videos and to edit because of that class. Because he didn't just teach graphic design. He made you understand why it's important and why it can actually lead to a successful career. I'm not saying like I'm going to be successful with it, but I'm just saying the way he spoke with it with a passion, and I really appreciated that. And I really appreciated the fact that every project you would submit to him, he always looked carefully at it. He never judged. You know how those teachers where they just look at it and they give it a bad grade? What he did was he would take his time to analyze it, to see what you did, and he'd make sure that he'd understand the full ins and outs of your specific project to make sure that he didn't miss a thing. And with me personally, he would always he would ask me questions. He'd be like, hey, what does this mean? What is this particular layer? what's the significance of that? Like, help me understand. Like, this is very interesting. I feel like you're telling a story behind it. And just the way his attitude, like, he was so down to earth, so humble, and definitely one of my, I think he's up there with my top 10 teachers, right? Or top three teachers right there. I have a lot of favorite teachers, but yeah, graphic design was my all-time favorite. English was also one of my favorite classes, just because English allowed me to tap into my creativity. I like writing essays. I like writing scripts. I like writing papers. I like jotting down all my thoughts, what I have in my brain, because sometimes my brain just gets so full of all these particular ideas that it's hard to just speak them out. That's why with most of my videos, I like writing out scripts. I like taking bullet points. Like right now, I'm taking bullet points off my laptop, just because there's so much stuff stuffed into my brain that I need to put it somewhere so I can reference it, so I can actually speak about it, so I can actually talk at length about it. And that's what I loved about English. Every time we were assigned an essay or a specific topic to talk about, I always got a general idea, and then I started putting the pieces together. It's like putting together a puzzle, and then you're just connecting all the dots. And that's what I loved about English. Art, I'm not a big art fan. I do like drawing. I'm not the best drawer. I'm not a good drawer at all. I'm not a good painter. None of that. But I just like the class, and especially my teachers. A special shout out to Miss Ortega. She was another teacher that was so down to earth and so humble. She was also another teacher, along with Mr. Mickner. She was one of those teachers where she actually took her time to analyze every single project, and she always gave credit, like positive. Like, she always gave us props. Like, I'd give her like a drawing, even though it was hideous. She'd be like, "Hey, you did good," or she'd always be optimistic about it, and I love that about her. All right, last but certainly not least, my graduation. Y'all, at first, I remember I think it was sophomore year. I remember thinking, oh yeah, graduation's gonna be cool. I just can't wait to get out of this place. Like, I kind of wanted to skip over graduation. There was even a point in time where I didn't even want to walk the stage. Like, there was a point in time where I just wanted to receive my diploma and not walk the stage. But after talking about it with my parents, they convinced me. They were like, trust me, you're not gonna regret it. Just walk the stage, do it for us. They pulled out that card. Do it for us. So I agreed. I said, all right, fine, I'll do it, but I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it that much. And y'all, I remember when I got my cap and gown, and I remember trying it on for the first time. I was in the bathroom, and I tried it on, and then I looked in the mirror, and I started tearing up. I'm not gonna lie, I started tearing up. And it wasn't because I was proud of myself or anything. I'm actually gonna get deep real quick. It was actually because I had this little bit of regret, because I mentioned all my favorite moments from high school, but one thing that I didn't mention was the fact that a lot of my classes I didn't take serious, which resulted in me getting bad grades and not meeting the potential that I initially had planned for high school. And it was rough thinking about that. It was rough thinking about not being able to go back and to fix all that, and having to live with that for the rest of my life. But fortunately for me, the joy of finally being done with school overcame all that, and they turned into tears of joy. And I remember graduation day, man, it was crazy. I don't think I ate breakfast that day just because I was so anxious. I was so nervous. And I remember getting ready, and my parents were driving me. We stopped at a red light, and then someone pulled up next to us. And come to find out, this is my childhood best friend. This guy, I've known this guy for 19 plus years. Literally, we've known each other since we were babies. And the reason why you haven't seen him in any vlogs or any videos is because he is, he's busy. He's doing his own thing. I would love to have him on here though, like even just to talk or just to go eat, just to vlog it. Like, he's down for it too, but we're definitely still working, the specs of all that. But you're definitely gonna see him in a video, hands down. Anyway, back to the story. He pulls up next to us, in his car, and he's just like telling me to get in. And I tell my parents, I'm like, hey, can I go? They're like, go, vete con tu amigo. I was like, all right, bet. So I go into his car, and we start talking, and we start reminiscing. We were like, yo, we're finally done. Like, this is happening, bro. We're graduating. Like, let's go. And yeah, we just started talking. And honestly, I don't think there couldn't have been a better way to go to the graduation ceremony. Like, go with your childhood best friend, someone you've known literally your whole life. You went to elementary school with this person, you went to middle school with this person, and you're about to finish high school with this person. It was very special for me, Axel, if you're watching this, you're still you're still my best friend. But I don't know, man. Something about just driving to graduation with my childhood best friend. It was something else. I remember getting there, man. It was packed. As soon as I started seeing all my old classmates, I pulled out my phone. I was like, yo, we gotta take some pictures. Anyone that I saw that I knew, I was like, hey, let's take a picture. Let's take a picture. Let's take a picture. And then, yo, as soon as we walked into that arena, I was speechless. I had no words. I looked in that arena. I saw all those people cheering. I was like, this is really happening. It felt surreal. Honestly felt surreal. And then when they finally called my name, wow. That was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago, man. That's crazy. But yeah, those are my best moments from high school. And wow, it's crazy talking about it, man. I really appreciate it if you guys watch this to the end. You know, you guys are absolute legends if you have. You know, it's just crazy. I love doing these story times. You know, like I said, I love taking trips down memory lane with you guys just because it's honestly an interesting experience talking about it. Once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, destroy the subscribe button, drop a comment, share this with all your homies. You know, let's spread the love. You know, I really appreciate all the support I've been getting from these vids, even though I have no clout. But I still really appreciate the support, y'all. But that concludes our video today, y'all. Like I said, once again, thank you for watching. It's been your boy Spicy Drip. Hope y'all have a good day. God bless you.